Let's go to Leah Littman. Actually, first we're going to go to Neil Katyal for just a moment. Neil, I know you wanted to get in on this.
Yeah, I mean, I want to zoom out and not talk about buckets of evidence or anything like that. The big picture here is this is a 6-3 decision along what looked to the American public like partisan line, 6 Republican appointed justices siding with Trump, 3 Democratic appointed justices siding against Trump. And it is a momentous, major decision. And I want to read to you from what Justice Sotomayor says at the end of her dissent, because I've never seen language like this in a Supreme Court opinion. She says, quote, "Never in the history of our republic has a president had reason to believe he'd be immune from criminal prosecution if he used the trappings of his office to violate the criminal law. Moving forward, however, all former presidents will be cloaked in such immunity. If the occupant of that office misuses official power for personal gain, the criminal law that the rest of us must abide will not provide a backstop." And here's how she ends her dissent, Katie. "With fear for our democracy, I dissent."
I mean, it doesn't get stronger than that, Neil.
I dissent. It doesn't get stronger
have you
than
ever
that,
heard? Have you ever, sorry to interrupt you, but have you ever heard a justice be that strongly worded about the state of our democracy?
I have not. And what she's signaling here is it's not just about the Trump January 6th case. It's about every president who goes forward, indeed possibly Trump next year, and being immune now from the criminal law to be able to use the Justice Department in ways the court today calls absolutely immune to undermine elections, to go after individuals. This is according to the dissent, which it seems like as grave a shift in our constitutional system as any in our lifetimes.
Let me bring in a little bit more from Sotomayor's dissent, because she gets into some of the specifics that were argued in court. She says, looking beyond the fate of this particular prosecution, the long-term consequences of today's decision are stark. The court effectively creates a law-free zone around the president, upsetting the status quo that has existed since the founding. This new official acts immunity now lies about like a loaded weapon for any president that wishes to place his own interests, his own political survival, or his own financial gain above the interests of the nation. The president of the United States is the most powerful person in the country and possibly the world. When he uses his official powers in any way, under the majority's reasoning, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. Orders the Navy's SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival, immune. Organizes a military coup to hold on to power, immune. Takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon, immune, 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 immune. Let the president violate the law. Let him exploit the trappings of his office for personal gain. Let him use his official power for evil ends. Because if he knew that he may one day face liability for breaking the law, he might not be as bold and fearless as we would like him to be. That's a quote from the majority opinion that she's using here. That is the majority's message today. Even if these nightmare scenarios never play out, and I pray they never do, the damage has been done. The relationship between the president and the people he serves has shifted irrevocably. In every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law. That is all from Justice Sotomayor's dissent. Neil, she's arguing that he can assassinate somebody now. Is that what this majority opinion is saying?
Yes, that is basically what she's saying the majority is saying, and I'm sure that is how Trump will take it. And if you ever were thought about the stakes in November and what they were, this opinion makes them very, very clear. The law is not going to be a check against the next president. And you have to have someone in power who you can trust to execute the laws faithfully and to comply with the Constitution. Now the stakes are astronomical in a way they might not have been before. This is a clarion call for the American public to understand the law, the courts are not going to protect us against a president who wants to violate the law. The Supreme Court's basically said, you can do that, just slap the label official act on it, and maybe there'll be a hearing over some pieces of it and not, and there won't even be a hearing when it comes to things like pressuring the Justice Department to break the law and to do what you want for your personal ends. So this is a really grave decision. And I think we should be focused on, Justice Sotomayor's warning and not the, technical details just about what this means for the January 6th prosecutions.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.